Hello, welcome to the United Community Channel. We are back with your Manchester United news, the latest news and transfer news. Onana, what's my name? He signs. I'm feeling Cameroonian. There we go. Onana signs for Manchester United. We've got a new number one. Plenty more to talk about as well, though, guys. We're going to talk about the new captain. Manchester United got a new one. It's Bruno Fernandes. We're going to talk about the striker situation and a little bit on the sale of Manchester United as well. As always, get your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's get into it. But yeah, you're more than welcome, guys. Thanks for joining. As usual, please do smash a like on the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel as well. We do these every day, every weekday that is, and all of the watch-alongs throughout the season as well. But look, where else should we start other than Andre Onana? And he is Manchester United's new number one. We've got our man. Erik ten Hag has got his man. And really, really happy, I have to say. Really happy. Look, I didn't think there was any way this wasn't going to get done. It did look like Manchester United were, the figures were right. The contract was set previous, all of that good stuff. So Manchester United have got their man. Now, what are we getting? We are getting one of the best ball-playing goalkeepers in the world is what we're getting. Now, I don't want to get too carried away because, we've done that before and things haven't worked out. And, but I think for the way Manchester United want to play and the way Erik ten Hag wants to set up his team and the style of football and all of this kind of stuff, then... Oh, what? You're interrupting the very start of the video. Go on, jog on. Oh, I got my microphone. I forgot my microphone. Sorry. All right, come in and say hello to everybody really quick before you go. Come on. Yeah. Now, say hi to everybody. Say hi. Hiya. Say, oh, Nana.
Oh, Nana.
Good girl. Oh, Nana. Good girl. Right, go on. Go have your bath. Why is the badge in your armpit? I have no idea. I presume because... Is this a real one or a fake one?
Real one.
It's a real one. Oh, it was actually bought in Cameroon. By who?
My sister.
Your sister. All right, close that door. So yeah, it was actually bought in Cameroon. So it is a real jersey. So there we go. I've had it for ages. Anyway, yeah, so...
Messi, come out.
Oh, God. Jesus, talk about trying to be professional.
Messi.
Get out, dog. Anyway. That's what you get on the United Community Channel here, isn't it? This is not the kit man. This is not the kit man. I've, once Onana signed, I just said I'd throw it on, but that's where the actual crest is. I don't know why it's under my armpit, but on my chest is not that big. But anyway, look, Manchester United have got their man. Sorry, let's try and get back on track here. We've got a ball-playing goalkeeper. We've got the goalkeeper that Erik ten Hag wants, the goalkeeper that he, I suppose, requires in relation to playing the style of football that he wants to play. And I think that is very, very important. I think the reason why he has pushed so hard for a new number one, of course, on the back of David De Gea's poor performances at the end of the season, I think everything happens for a reason. I think if David De Gea if he didn't have as bad an end to the season as he did, we could potentially still be going into the new season with him. Now, look, I wouldn't have been against that at all. I didn't, I don't have a vendetta against David De Gea. Absolutely not, I don't. But I think specifically for the way Ten Hag wants to play, this guy is head and shoulders, dandruff-free above David De Gea. So he is. He really is. And I'm delighted. I really am. And now, look, we are getting a very charismatic goalkeeper. Now, that can be a good thing or a bad thing. We've seen him fall out with Erik ten Hag, I suppose, not last season, but Ten Hag's last season at Ajax. I think he left him out for a cup final or something. And he said, I don't give a shit. I'm going to Inter anyway. He fell out with his international coach at Cameroon as well over the style of play he didn't really agree with and all of that kind of stuff. So, I mean, look, it's interesting. We're getting a very charismatic goalkeeper, but I think it's something that you do need. You look at Peter Schmeichel, for example, very charismatic as well. And it's just officially been announced at the moment, just this second, guys, that Onana is not going to be wearing the number 1 shirt. He's going to be wearing number 24 at Manchester United. That's actually my favorite number, by the way. So Onana won't wear number 1. He will wear number 24 at Manchester United, which is interesting. So obviously the number 1 jersey then will... the number 1 jersey will remain vacant unless our second choice goalkeeper, whether that be Suzuki, if he comes in, he could take it up, or if Kovar stays, we'll get into Kovar in a few minutes as well. But look, it looks like Manchester United have got their long-term goalkeeper here, you would have to say. Let me just zoom in here. Sorry, I never zoomed in on these before I started. So, official, Andre Onana has joined Manchester United on a contract running until June 2028, with the option of a further year subject to international clearance. So that's, of course, what United like to do. They don't tend to offer contracts without the option of a further year at the end of it. It's pretty standard for him. So, look, really, really great news. 5-year deal with the option of extending it to a 6th year for him, and it's great. It really is. Now that we've had some comments from Onana as well. He says, to join Manchester United is an incredible honour, and I have worked hard all my life to get to this moment, overcoming many obstacles along the way. Walking out at Old Trafford to defend our goal and contribute to the team will be another amazing experience. I love the wording of that, to defend our goal. I love it. It's just, siege mentality, and, really, really positive from him. So happy with that. He also goes on to say, Manchester United have a long history of incredible goalkeepers, and I will now give everything to create my own legacy in the coming years. So look, he is not short of confidence, this guy, and rightly so. He's a top quality goalkeeper. I think we're getting a kind of a mix between Ederson and Alisson. Alisson, it would be a lot better with his feet than Ederson. I think Ederson is probably a better shot stopper, but I think this guy has the minerals of both, really, in my opinion. And I think it's going to be a very, very positive move for Manchester United in terms of the way that we want to play and the way that we're going to play under Erik ten Hag. And I think ten Hag just had enough of, the whole David De Gea thing. He said, right, well, look, Andre Onana is up for grabs here. This is the goalkeeper I want. I'm going for him. So happy days. He also says, I'm excited by the opportunity to work again with Erik ten Hag, and I can't wait to play my part in the success I know he is determined to deliver at this great football club. John Murta has also made a statement. He says, Onana was our top choice to become the new goalkeeper for Manchester United, with exactly the right profile of technical attributes and personality. He goes on to say, we know that Onana will further add to the winning mentality we are building within our squad. He is already one of the world's best goalkeepers at the age of 27, and we firmly believe that he can develop even further over the coming years. So it's all positive. It really is all positive. Reports are suggesting that he is in line to make his preseason debut against Arsenal on Saturday, and I do see Arsenal for life is in the chat there as well. So so I mean, look, the sooner we get him in, he's flying to New York as we speak, so he is going to meet up with the squad today or tomorrow, whenever that might be. Let's go back through some of the comments here and we'll see what people are saying. Oshin says, Era, let's forget the professionalism and descend into anarchy. Paul says, good evening. How's things keeping since? Nice to see United have finally got the deal done. Absolutely, Paul. All happy here. Chris says, now we get Hojlund and Amrabat. Absolutely. We don't rest on our laurels. We go again, and we're going to get into Hojlund in a moment as well. We've got plenty to talk about with him. Ash says, hello, what do you think about the new signing? Really, really happy with it, Ash, have to say. Aaron says, 2 more signings equals happy fans, but we're still fucking Glazers out. So make sure we don't get too comfortable. Ash says, what do you think Johnny Evans coming back on a short-term deal? Look, I don't really mind. It doesn't bother me at all. He's going to be back up. There was reports today that said United are open to, or are not closed to the option of signing him for the remainder of the season if he does well, if Ten Hag is impressed with him in pre-season. But he will just be a backup. You know what I mean? Let's not kid ourselves. Arsenal for Life is in. He says, congrats, appreciate it. Oshin says, Onana looks a big, like a big buckle. That's a big buy in Irish for anybody living outside of Ireland. I reckon he'll clear some lads out at the corner. Well, that's what you want. You want someone that's brave under the ball, really, don't you? Come out and just punch and clean out his own defenders, let alone the opposition. Ben says, what number is Onana? Yeah, we just said it there. He's going to wear the number 24 jersey, guys. Mr. 442 is not amused with the jersey, I presume. Ben says he'd be after that big striker Man City have again, like in the Champions League final. Absolutely. Chris says, I like the fact that he will not be glued to his line. He will be glued to the halfway line more than his own line, I would say. Mohammed says, that keeper that played our last friendly could be our number one. He could be in the future, but let's give him time. The keeper wants to come to us with Maguire. Let's go, says Ben. Chris says number 24. He showed well against City in the UEFA Champions League final. Let's see, what else we got here? Dean Henderson returning to England, says Chris. I haven't heard that yet, but I'll keep an eye out for it. Onana, what's his name? Says Ty. Let's see. Yeah. So anyway, look, happy days, guys. United have got a new number one in the door, and it's good news. It's good news. Let's see what people on TikTok are saying here as well. Martin says, if you look at Ederson and Alisson, they are Ederson and Alisson, they are units. So is Onana. David just didn't cut it anymore. Yeah. Shout out to Dana, who got a Venom tattoo. There you go. Going to the game in the Aviva, I am. Manny says, glad to see we are finally doing some business. Dean says, we should have got a different goalie. Feel like he's a flop. Well, there's always some people you can't please. Tom Aldino says, Glazers ain't selling, and it's all your fault. Give it time. They'll have to sell eventually, whether it's today or in 10 years' time. Jesus. New Studio says, Daniel, just put some wallpaper on the wall and got rid of the green screen. That's all, Daniel. Shout out. Yeah, we read that one already. Stephen says, how long do you think Hojlund transfer will take? So anyway, look, good segue there. Let's get on. Actually, no, we won't. We'll speak about this guy first. And Manchester United have got a new captain, guys. You can see it on the screen. Anybody watching on TikTok, all of the articles that we're talking about here, we've got them up on the screen live over on YouTube as well. So if you want to come and get the full experience, head over to YouTube. The YouTube icon is on my homepage. Just tap it. We're live. Get involved in the chat. Hit subscribe. Let me know you've come over from TikTok as well. But anybody on YouTube, as you can see on the screen, El Capitan, Bruno Fernandes, our Portuguese Magnifico, is our new captain. And look, it's not a big surprise really to anybody. I think a lot of people had their different opinions on who they wanted to be captain. You know, a lot of people were saying Casemiro. Some people were saying Varane. Some people were saying Martinez. Some people were saying, you know, Rashford. Even Luke Shaw was getting the nod off some people. But Bruno Fernandes gets it. I think it's the right choice, I have to say. I think it was the obvious choice because he obviously wore the captain's armband in Maguire's absence last season. So, look, I'm really happy with this. I think Bruno Fernandes, he leads by example. And you know what? I over the last few days, since obviously Maguire got stripped of the captaincy, I'm still seeing a lot of people, you know, giving hate towards Bruno Fernandes and United fans as well, you know, about his petulance. And yeah, he is petulant. So what? And he gives the ball away. Yeah, he gives the ball away. So what? But he creates more than any other player basically in the Premier League since he arrived. He leads by example. He runs his arse off. You know, he's played more games last season than any player in the top 5 leagues in Europe. If that's not captain material, then what in the name of God is? You know, I think Bruno Fernandes is the ideal captain. And, you know, he does throw up his hands in the air and he gives out an awful lot. But you know what? So did Roy Keane. Now, Roy Keane done it in probably a more angry way than Bruno Fernandes. Bruno would probably does it in a whinier way maybe than Roy Keane, but it's very similar, you know. So I think Bruno Fernandes as our new captain is is a perfect choice. It's a perfect choice. I'm really, really happy with it, I have to say. So yeah, Maguire replaced by Fernandes as United captain. A couple of outlets saying it here. Manchester United have chosen fan favourites as next captain. Confirmation expected soon. Yeah, that was earlier today. And we've got the news. Look, happy days, And Oshin says it spot on there. He says, I like a captain who had a good whinge, to be honest. Shows he has high standards. I'm the first to give out to him for giving the ball away, but at least he's trying something. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think he shows a lot of captain characteristics, and, especially with the younger kids. And I remember even last season when Garnacho was kind of breaking through onto the scene, he was asked in an interview about Garnacho and how well he's been doing. And he said, yeah, he's been doing great, but he has to keep his feet on the ground. And he mentioned his poor timekeeping in pre-season last year. If you remember, Garnacho didn't really play at all, I don't think. And it was because he was late for meetings and stuff like that. So while Bruno Fernandes could have easily, inflated the kid's head there, in that interview that time, he said, no, look, he's got a long way to go. He's got to keep his feet on the ground, and we're going to make sure we can, lead by example, and, make sure that he's, reaching the heights that he could potentially reach. And that's good captain material, you would have to say. It is being a good captain, coming out and saying things like that, leading by example, having high standards that you set for the entire team. And more than anything, not letting anybody drop below them standards. Because if you start letting guys drop below them standards, then it's game over. It really, really is, Aaron says, also, Bruno is super vocal, which I love. He will argue your case with you no matter what. Absolutely. Absolutely. But again, I go back to what we've said previously about, people saying it should be Bruno, it should be Casemiro, it should be Varane, it should be Martinez, it should be Rashford, Shaw, all of these types of players. It's great. It's great that we have, and and I think Onana is going to fit in to this kind of bracket as well. It's great that we are seeing Manchester United squad building a squad full of these characters with all of this captain potential. They don't all have to be captain, and they won't all be captain, but we're starting to show, and we're starting to build some real characters within the team, and hopefully that translates into squad morale and into squad mentality more so than individual mentality, and hopefully then further down the line, you translate that into wins, trophies, league titles, Champions Leagues, this kind of stuff. So, hopefully this is the start of the snowball effect. And I think Onana coming in is only going to help that with his high standards and with his personality and with his, he seems very vocal as well. So all good. And of course, Bruno now being the captain, is going to set them standards as well. Ben says, more calm and thinks about the situation of the game than keen. Chris says, Bruno will demand effort. Ben also says, Bruno showed us passion and the team will follow. Ten Hag wants to play the ball and pressure. This man can get a team from losing to winning easier than a few captains. There we go. Oshin then says, as Keane says, great characters in the dressing room, leaders. Exactly. Absolutely. TikTok. Let's see what they're saying. Fernandes may feel the pressure of the captaincy, says David. Not a hope. He didn't feel it last year. He was captain for the majority of the season. Basketball says, what color is Manchester? It's red, and it always will be. You can have your plastic Man City all you want. It's always going to be red. Benny says, I don't think Bruno should have got it, being very hot-headed, but it shows he cares about the club, trusting the manager. So we talk about Bruno taking the captaincy from Maguire, and we've been speaking over the last few days that this is probably going to be the kick up the arse out the exit door for Maguire. Now, reports have suggested today that Ten Hag has told Maguire he doesn't want him to leave, despite rumours of a Manchester United departure. And furthermore, Chelsea have also stated that they're not interested in signing Maguire, despite some of the rumours that have come to the surface over the last couple of days and couple of weeks. So basically what this article is saying, Eric Ten Hag has told out-of-favour centre-back Harry Maguire that he doesn't want him to leave Manchester United, according to reports. The manager relinquished Maguire of the Man United captaincy last week, and he has been linked with the departure for some time. The England international made 16 appearances last term. West Ham, Tottenham, Aston Villa have all registered their interest in signing Maguire this summer. Newcastle and Chelsea have also had him on the radar, but recent reports suggest he won't be going anywhere. That is according to to TalkSport pundit Sam Matterface. He claimed that Ten Hag has told Maguire privately that he wants him to stay. I understand that Maguire remains relaxed about the situation. I think he told everybody that he's going to knuckle down and work for the team. He's got time left on his contract, Matterface says. So this is all just coming from TalkSport. We know you can take that with a pinch of salt as well. But look, it's interesting that these reports are surfacing now, because you would expect it to go the other way. Once Bruno Fernandes is, announced as captain, you would think, right, this is going to be Harry Maguire's chance to get out the door now. But look, if he stays, he stays. No, I have no problem with that. A lot of people are very vocal and very adamant that kick him out of the club and all of this. A bunch of nonsense. You know what I mean? The man is a professional. He's been very professional throughout his Manchester United career. He might not have been a very good player, but he's been very professional, and he deserves some respect because he's just trying his hardest. If he decides to stay, okay, he'll stay, but he's not going to play. He's going to play very little time. He's going to pick up a wage check, a paycheck week in, week out. The only downside is that we're losing out on maybe 30 to 40 million that we could reinvest into the squad. That's the issue that people are having, and rightly so. But I mean, if Ten Hag gets the signings that he wants, if Ten Hag says, right, I want 4 signings this summer. I want 2 midfielders, I want a striker, and I want a goalkeeper. If that's what he wants and Maguire stays, then okay. Now, we'll never know. I'm sure Ten Hag would probably like 6 or 7 or 8 signings if he could get them. But we have to be realistic. We're not on the negative stand here, talking about, everything is rubbish and, it's all miserable and nothing is getting done. And, we've signed someone. Oh, great. But we should have signed him a month ago. Same old negative stuff all the time. But if he stays, he stays. We lose out on 30 to 40 million. If a player becomes available that we are adamant we should be signing, like a Harry Kane, for example, we're going to find a few bob down the back of the couch, regardless of whether we sell Maguire or not. I would like him to go, because I think he's wasting his time at Manchester United. I do think he could have a good career elsewhere, at your West Hams or your Aston Villas or even Chelsea's. I suppose they're in that bracket now, considering where they finished last season. So if he does decide to go, great, we'll wish him well and send him on his way. But if he decides to stay, he's not going to be getting much game time. It's as simple as that, really. So yeah, let's see. Ben says West Ham are rumoured. Chris says Eric Ten Hag said Ronaldo was always in his plans until he got him gone. Great point. Yep, great point. Ben says new striker inbound, Harry Maguire. Oshin says that photo looked like Harry was going to the funeral of his United career. Ben says Harry Maguire, number 9. It's rumoured. Daniel says Onana, what's my name? Onana, what's my name? Onana. I think Maguire needs a loan out. I wouldn't, Ben, to be honest with you. I don't think that benefits United in any way. I'd rather just keep him as backup. Don't have to kick him out, but just sell him, says Chris. Maguire should want to move. Just keep his career going. Ben says, I want to sell, but if Ten Hag wants him, I'm okay with that. Oshin says, Jack throwing smoke at Goldbridge. Next celebrity boxing match. I'll fight you for a fiver. Chris says, I don't hate Maguire, but he is just not good enough. Effort is there, but just not good enough to play the Eric Ten Hag way. And I think that's the key, really, isn't it? Manchester United play a certain way. You play a high line. You play on the halfway line the majority of the time. And if the ball is put in behind, Harry Maguire is like a 18-wheel truck turning, And that's why I think he will have a decent career at a West Ham or at a Aston Villa, who play on the edge of their own box with the ball in front of them all the time. I think he'll have a good career that way. I really do. Daniel says, regardless of Maguire, our history of sales in recent years is poor, even for our youth. Iqbal sold for 1 million. Man City youth going for 10 million plus. This needs to improve. It does. It does. We covered it, Daniel, a couple of weeks back. Liverpool, oh no, sorry. I think it was Chelsea in the last 10 years have the highest money generated from sales. I think it's at 700 million. Liverpool are at about 400 million and United are at like 50 something million, which is just bonkers. You know, it's absolutely bonkers. John says he's professional, but will continue to lose value the longer he stays on the bench. Agreed. Jared says it looks more likely each day Martial is staying. Yeah, I think he will stay. I said that weeks ago. He turns like a dump truck. Classic Jack line. Yeah, absolutely. TikTok. Let's see what you're saying here. Gary says 60 to 70 million on Hojlund. Surely you add 10 million and buy Kane. Well, you could, but Daniel Levy won't sell him to us. That's the issue. Sonic says Moussa Diaby to Aston Villa. What do you think of that transfer? Don't really care, to be honest. Dara says, well, Jack, how's it going? Good to see you, Dara. I still wish we could go in for Kane, says Manny. So do I. What's the jersey? The jersey is Cameroon on behalf of Onana signing for Manchester United. So yeah, anyway, let's move it on to Rasmus Hojlund. He has been mentioned there by someone in the chat. Atalanta holding key meeting for Manchester United target Rasmus Hojlund. So Atalanta have held an internal meeting to consider the sale of Rasmus Hojlund to Premier League club Manchester United. According to a tweet by Alfredo Padula, Atalanta officials have held a key meeting with manager Gian Piero Gasparini last night regarding the situation of Hojlund. Ladia want 60 million and bonuses of about 8 million to 10 million for the player, and United are set to present an initial offer of around 55, including bonuses. So as we can see here then as well, this report is suggesting Man United to make opening bid for, now this is not of 70 million, to make an opening bid for 70 million striker target. Staggering 800% wage increase is already agreed. Now, this is huge. This really is huge. So, Manchester United have reportedly set to test the resolve of Atalanta with an opening bid for Rasmus Hojlund. Let's see, what does it give us here? Does it give it any update? So according to a report from Caught Offside, the Red Devils are ready to submit a bid of around 35 to 40 million for Hojlund. So a bit lower than what the other report is saying. Now, obviously, this is in pounds and the other is in euros. So we're probably going to be looking at a bid of around 50 million euro opening for Rasmus Hojlund with potential add-ons and the like. You know what I mean? So let's get it done. You know, let's get it done. Let's get the first bid on the table. Let's get Atalanta to the negotiating table and let's just get it done. Let's get our number 9 in as quick as possible. I would like to see him be able to link up with us on pre-season tour, but I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't, because I don't think we're going to get him in on time that it's going to allow us to. I mean, we're atrociously slow at getting deals done. You know, we really are. So if this is going to be done, I can't see us getting it done by the time we come back from pre-season. We're going to be back from pre-season in less than 2 weeks. We haven't even tabled an official bid for this player yet. I don't think he's going to be on the pre-season tour. I really don't. But I do think we will sign him. So it's getting him in before the start of the season that, you know, I think is most important. When have we got our first game? Let's have a look here and see. Give me 1 second. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Where are we? Matches. We've got our first game on the 12th. Or sorry, the 14th of August is our first game. So, yeah, look, I mean, getting him in before the 14th of August, that gives us, what, about 3 weeks, little over 3 weeks to get the deal done for Rasmus Hojlund. And I think that should be our deadline. I think we can forget about him coming for pre-season. And I think just getting it in over the line now before the start of the season is what's important. Now, I don't know, maybe there is deals being worked in the background, because one report here suggests that Atalanta are in a hurry to sell Hojlund as Manchester United consider a new offer. Serie A side Atalanta are looking to make sure that Rasmus Hojlund's future at the club is resolved quickly. Now, what I would say here is that this is, obviously if Atalanta are going to get a anywhere between 50 and 70 million for this player, they are going to want to get this money in as quickly as possible as well. They're not going to want Rasmus Hojlund signing for Manchester United on deadline day when then they can't reinvest the money. It's not smart business for them. They're going to want to reinvest this money in getting a new striker in. They've already, I think they've sold a couple of players already this season. So I think it's within everybody's benefit that we get this deal done as quickly as possible. Manchester United need a number 9. Atalanta need to replace their number 9, so they'll obviously need the revenue that they get from it. So, like I said, it's in everyone's interest. Let's just get the job done quickly, you know what I mean, and move on. Let's see what people here are saying. Daniel says, we've been in for Hojlund for a while. I'm excited, but not proven, and I worry we're putting all our eggs in one basket. Need a proven Prem scorer as well. I would get Tony in January too. Well, that could be an option, especially if we have new owners by that time. Brian says, I know he's young and unproven, but Ten Hag really wants him, so he must see what he can add to the squad. Need to get this done as a priority now. Absolutely, Brian. Yep, spot on there. Handbags, boys. The boys are arguing in the group chat. I see there. The moderators are arguing in the group chat with one another. Talk about professionalism on the United Community channel here. Chris says we need to get this deal done so he can be there after the US tour. Brian also says if we get him before if we get him in before the 2 preseason games in Manchester and Dublin, it would be great. Yeah, it would. It would. I mean, the sooner the better, really, isn't it? We need him ASAP with Amrabat and Taremi, says Chris. And John says we need to get it done ASAP. It takes time to settle into a new style. We have to have a better start than last season. Absolutely. And do you know what? Our start to the season is not easy. It is not easy. Let's have a look at it here. If we look at Premier League, let me drag it over here for you. Let me put it in here. So let's have a look at that there. So Manchester United's, let me zoom in on it for you. Manchester United's opening Premier League game, of course, is Wolves. Then we've got Spurs away. Nottingham Forest, okay. But then we go into Arsenal, Brighton, and Burnley. So, I mean, we do not have a particularly easy start to the season, you would have to say. So, I mean, the quicker we can get these types of players in, the better, because it means they settle quicker. It means they're integrated into the squad quicker. They get to know their teammates, all of that good stuff. So, yeah, the quicker we can get it done, the better, in my opinion. Oshin says, we take our guidance from the face of the franchise. Oh, by the way, you're after reminding me there, guys. I am very close to launching a merchandise store as well for anybody. I've got some cool designs that I've been working on over the last few weeks. Of course, we've got the United Community Channel gear. We've got some Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, Rashford designs. I've got a Martinez one. I've just done an Onana one today as well. So close to getting the merchandise store up and running through Shopify and Printify. So I've been working on it for a few weeks now, and it's quite stressful because I had to learn everything from scratch. So yeah, so look, I'll let you know it should be done in the next maybe week or so as well. Liam says, I am really excited for this season, hoping we don't sink like the start of last season. Yeah, well, you would hope Eric Ten Hag is a bit more, I suppose, wary of the situation as well. Chris says, we need to put up 7 on Henderson. Yeah, we do. Ben says, is any game easy in the Premier League? Yeah, good show. Good show. Let's see. On TikTok, Barry says, there are no easy Premier League games. Absolutely. Here we go. Do you support League of Ireland? I don't. Benny says, you should sell jerseys, make a fortune. And Kiefer says, have you got gear already for sale, lad? I don't, Kiefer. There's only one
t-shirt that's available on YouTube on my YouTube store at the moment. It's green and gold until the club is sold. You can get that if you want, but I've got more coming in the official merch drop in the next couple of weeks. But I'll keep you up to date on it, and you can go check some of it out. Can't beat the original Butcher hoodie though. Jack says, Ben. Yeah, Ben. I think there's only 2 that have got the original. I think it's the same design, by the way, the new one that I'm putting up. So, but you've got the original ones. Jared says, who do you think backup goalkeeper will be? Anyway, good segue and good question there from Jared, because prominent absentees from Manchester United's tour squad could indicate a move is in the pipeline. So this is Kovar, of course, and obviously Manchester United have sent him on loan last year, and he done really well. He won the league. I keep forgetting what league he was in. Someone mentioned it last week, but anyway, it doesn't matter. And he's had 2 very, very, very impressive performances in preseason. Now, I know it's preseason and the stakes are not high. Of course they're not. But just the way he plays the game, I said to myself, where is this guy after coming from? His distribution is top notch. He's so comfortable on the ball. He's able to save. He's confident to come out. There was one in the game yesterday where it was just zipped across the 6-yard box and he was brave. He came out and he smothered it down low. I've been really impressed with him, but he hasn't been brought to America on the US tour, which probably signifies that he is going to go on loan again this season. So yeah, I mean, look, it mentions it down here. A few different people, notable absentees. The biggest shock was the exclusion of Kovar from the goalkeeping contingent. The 23-year-old played a full 90 minutes against Lyon and second half against Leeds United. So yeah, it looks like he's probably going to go on loan. But look, it does look like we're interested in this Suzuki from Japan. So we do need another goalkeeper. We will need a number 2. I think maybe leaving him Kovar behind is to try and get a loan deal sorted. But I don't think the trigger will be pulled on that until we get maybe Suzuki in. Did you see the Apple Green sale? You can get Teos for 24 cents, man, on Monday. All over it. RM Fido says, hello from Samoa. Thanks for joining, my friend. Glory, glory, Man United. You're more than welcome. Thanks for joining. Make sure you do hit the follow button as well, guys. If you're new to the channel, please do hit the follow button. We're closing in on 40,000 followers as well. Czech League, Sparta Prague was on loan there. Says football news. There we go. Happy days. Peter says, it's his coming for crosses what will make major pressure for centre halves. That comes from Peter as well. Let's see. Chris says, OG Butcher Gear. Yeah, absolutely. Ukraine. Any tickets for the Aviva about, says Harry. I don't. I've got 2 myself, but you're not getting them, I'm afraid, Harry. Kovar is only 23, says Liam. And Jared says, I'm confused why Johnny Evans didn't get picked for the tour. I have a feeling there's a youth team playing against Wrexham in San Diego, and I think there may potentially be a different squad playing in that than the actual tour squad of like Rashford and Casemiro and then types of players. So whether some of them will then link up with or stay for the remainder of the tour, I'm not sure. But like if you look at the fixtures here, we play Wrexham, which is going to be a youth team. Then we play Real Madrid the next day, and then we play Borussia Dortmund 4 days later, and then we play Lens. You know what I mean? So there's going to be a right few games. So yeah, look, let's see what happens. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. Talking about outgoings as well, guys. Obviously, Kovar is a player that's probably going to leave on loan this season. But in terms of permanent outgoings, Manchester United are looking to sell Charlie Savage. Permanent exit could be on the cards for Charlie Savage as multiple EFL clubs join the race. So Manchester United, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Where are we going here? Savage out. So Football Insiders have claimed that Championship side Swansea and Sheffield Wednesday and League One side Wigan Athletic are looking at bringing in the 20-year-old. Rather surprisingly, the report mentions that the deal could either be a loan move or even a permanent one if the right offer should arrive. Manchester United midfielder Charlie Savage is a target. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So basically, it's not 100% that he will leave permanently, but he's 20 years of age now. So it's either a loan move or it's a permanent move for him. He's not going to get a chance to break into the first team squad. I couldn't see him getting in for the. I mean, he does really need to go out on loan at the bare minimum, in my opinion. Yeah, because I mean, at that age, you need game time. He needs to go out and play 42 games, in a season. He just does, and get as much experience under his belt as possible. And look, it always is sad to see players leaving, that have come up through the ranks and stuff like that. But it's a cutthroat business. If you're good enough, you stay. If you're not good enough, then you go, And I think it's something that we have to trust Erik ten Hag's judgment on. He sees these players week in, week out. If they're out on loan, he's getting detailed reports of them every week from their their sister club, so I mean, it's if the manager decides it's time to go, it's time to go. So, but look, again, let's see what happens. I was going to talk about the takeover, but what's the point? What's the point, really? Let's just look at this guy again. Happy days. Manchester United have a new number one. Let's see what people in the chat are saying here. Football News says, will you do a fans meetup with you in the Aviva? Love your content and your work. I'm not doing it. Yes, of course you can. Come in and say goodnight. I'm not doing a meetup, but if you see me, come up and say hello. I'll be in a pub drinking Guinness somewhere. Come on in and say goodnight. We're nearly finished here.
Brush your hair.
Oh, look, you're being wet head on you. Did you have a nice bath? Yeah. Look at you there. Look at you there. Drinking your milk. Who signed for United today? Onana. Who signed for United today? Oh, Onana. Onana. What you say? What's my name? Onana. What's my name? Right, go dry your hair and brush it. I'll see you in the morning.
Your daddy hug?
Have a hug? Ta-ta. I love you. See you in the morning. Anyway, let's end it on that, shall we? Thanks everybody for watching. Click the like and subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Anybody watching on TikTok, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. We're doing all of our live watch-alongs over there. We've got the full experience every night on YouTube. Whether it would be these news shows, the articles that we're discussing, you can see them on the screen over on YouTube. Also, when we're doing our watch-alongs, it's the full experience over on YouTube as well. We've got scoreboards, timers, starting 11s, all of that. All of the graphics are on the screen. So make sure you're subscribing to YouTube for me. We're closing in on 4,000 subscribers. And with your help, we can get there. I'm going to aim for 5,000 subscribers before Christmas. So if you haven't already done so, do us a favor. See up here. Click onto my homepage. There's a YouTube icon. Just click it and hit subscribe. And you can go back and look at ones in bikinis on TikTok if you want. Anyway, guys, appreciate everybody for watching and listening. We'll be back again tomorrow night with our final news show of the week. Tomorrow's Friday, isn't it? Is tomorrow Friday? Yeah. Tomorrow is Friday. So happy Friday. And then we're going to be doing the watch along on Saturday night then as well. Manchester United play Arsenal at 10 o'clock on Saturday night. So we'll be live from 9:30. We might even have a couple of beers watching it. You never know. Because Kilkenny are playing in the All-Ireland final the next day. So come on the Cats. Come on, the Cats. Good girl. So thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow night. But until then, stay safe and I'll chat to you. Take it easy.